So there are different ways that you could do this in terms of how do you get advocates to help you. Well, Pam mentioned, as you listened to our talk there, a home meeting. Have someone put on either a meal or dessert, and they invite their friends to come and to hear your talk, to hear you share about your ministry. These can be effective. Sometimes they work for people. Sometimes they don't work. Depending, a lot of times, even location, where you are, makes a difference sometimes with that. But that's one way you could do that. An advocate can introduce you to someone in their church, the church leader, the pastor, and that could start a relationship. Your pastor can be an advocate for you. They can get you involved in a church ministerium. A lot of churches have ministeriums. They're part of a community where they get together with the other pastors in that community, and they usually have someone come and share sometimes. So that it could be a way a pastor could do that. A pastor could also speak in behalf of you in front of the church. That's ideal, and that's great. We don't have too many pastors that do that these days. They guard their time very carefully, and budgets are that way too. We're going to talk about churches here in a little bit. But they can introduce you to the congregation, and they can ask the congregation to do things that you would rather have the pastor say than you to say. Advocates can introduce you to their small group, their Sunday school class. They can get you into those types of settings and situations. That's what an advocate can do. They may know merchants or businessmen who want to be a part of ministry, especially Christian businessmen, and so they know someone like that. They could help you in that way. They can do tangible things for you. They can take care of your newsletters for you. They can help you in other things that you need. It doesn't always have to be inviting you to partner or inviting you to share your ministry with others to get partners. They can be advocates for you, helping you in practical things too. How many of us, when we go to the field, it's like, oh, I wish I had someone back home that could do this for me. We send my son videotapes of movies and TV shows and sporting events. Okay, that helps them. And so, in a sense, that's a kind of an advocate type thing. How many of you have spoken at Vacation Bible Schools? Vacation Bible Schools is another thing that you could get involved in. Some of the churches, they have junior church, and they have projects that they put on. Advocates can help that for you, too. They could talk to someone in that. I heard someone talk about they're going to a camp here soon. Yeah. Going to camps and sharing in the summer is a great way, and an advocate might be able to put you in touch with a camp that's looking for missionaries to come and to share in the camp setting. So these are ways that advocates can help you in your ministry and to expand your network. That really is the best way that you're going to get your network expanded, is really working through advocates. You can get people to advocate for you, small groups, but they could do, I know one small group put on a chicken barbecue for the team, that they were, the missionaries that they were going to be supporting. And so they did that, and they raised a lot of money. When we were going out, someone put on Pam made a baby quilt, and they did a raffle for us, putting that in there, and that gave us some money. People could put on yard sales for you. So there's all kinds of projects that a small group could do, a church could do, if you're raising one-time funds. It's the primary network that you're probably going to look for your advocates. These are the ones that know you best, the closest relationships that you have with them. So take a look at your mailing list and think through, okay, who are in my primary network right now? And then look at your secondary network. That should be the rest of the people. Who are some in the secondary network that I could possibly think about moving into my primary network? Now, how are you going to ask them? It's probably best to either two ways. See them face to face and ask them to be an advocate, or send them a letter and ask them to be an advocate that way. But what you want to do, if you're going to do a letter or even an invitation face to face with them, is you want to personalize it, or even call them on the phone. You could do that. You should be able to personalize it pretty well because you know them. So they're not a stranger to you. You want to affirm them and let them know why you chose them. Why did you choose this person to be an advocate? Okay, so let them know that. But then you want to give them some specific logistical information about it. Sometimes we would tell people, okay, you need to get advocates. And then you say, okay, fine, I'll go ask people to be an advocate. Then the person's question comes back is, okay, what's that? What do I do? And so we want to give them some specific things that they can do for us. Okay, and so we've given you some ideas, and then you know that person, what they might possibly be able to do. But you want to be able to give them some ideas, some information about what it is that you're asking them to do, so they have an idea of that. And so you suggest ideas. You want to be sincere, honest, and open with them. You're not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes with this. But let them know that you'll follow up with them, too. Ask them to think about it, pray about it, and then say that you'll follow back up with them to see how that goes.